it's 2 p.m. today, and we are here in Katong. Very nice background.
See, got swing eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually can see one because we just saw a kid that actually played on the swing. It's quite nice.
But not him lah.
And I'll probably break it. More importantly, today, what's our topic is why is my neighbours moving away?
Why
Why are my neighbours moving away?
Yeah.
It will be actually a lot of people, a lot of HDB owners, right? The moment they hit 5 years in MOP, they all shift away.
They
But
are
why,
sick and tired of HDB.
Sick and tired of HDB, that could be one reason.
They want to
made
change
some money,
environment.
they want to change the environment. But could it be that they know something that you do not know?
Serious?
Yes.
Like what?
Because why is it precisely on the 5th year, the moment they hit MOP, they leave?
It's haunted.
Voila.
Okay.
But actually, right, today I want to share with you guys, before I tell you what they could know, they may know that you might not know, right? I'd like to share with you the recent HDB versus private trends, right? Over the last 10 years, right, HDB has actually risen about 33% on average over the last 10 years. So if you take every year, right, you'll probably rise about 3% per year.
Okay.
Okay, and then after that, for private condominiums, private as real estate, they have risen about 64% over the last 10 years.
Okay.
So that means it's roughly, for whether it's HDB or private residential, it has risen about 3 to 6%.
So for your private, does it include landed house as well, or just condominiums?
Non-landed only.
Okay.
So we are talking about specifically the HDB, tall buildings, right, flats, and also private condominiums that are non-landed,
Okay.
right? So they have risen roughly about 3 to 6%, which both of them has actually beaten inflation, right? Because inflation is about 2%, 2.64%, right? So this is a good thing. But why do all these people shift the moment they hit 5-year MOP?
Oh, they earn lots of money.
That's one reason, but there's a more important reason, and I can tell you that shortly. So, why are they moving? It's because if you look at this chart right here, I'm gonna do a 5-year comparison on HDB and private condominiums. This is our 5-year projection and comparison. Now, so why are these people moving immediately right after they hit the MOP? So for a HDB, say for example, you own a $500,000 HDB. That's roughly about a 5-room flat in general, roughly about 5-room flat. And if based on the chart that I showed you just now regarding a 3% increase for HDB, right? First of all, HDB, they use MSR. So if you can afford a $500,000 HDB, automatically based on a 60% TDSR, you will be able to afford a $1 million private new launch apartment. Okay? Because of the 60% TDSR as well as the 30% MSR. So based on a 3% per annum growth based on our chart just now, and a 6% per annum growth of a private condominium, every year for the HDB, if you look at 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, by the time you wait for about 5 years, it will grow up to about 579,000. As compared to a new launch property at 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. Based on the 6% per annum growth, the total difference in profit for the HDB is $79,637, and for the new launch condo, based on the 6% per annum growth, you're looking at a $338,225 growth in 5 years. So because when you buy a private property, you need a down payment of 250,000 as a down payment. So your total equity is actually a grand total of 588,225. So if 0.58 cents. So if you notice, in 5 years, right, the 588 can actually fully pay off the same HDB that we were looking at 500k in 2019. But if you were to stay in a $500,000 HDB, it will probably take you 25 years to repay. Whereas if you apply the new launch strategy, 5 years later you can actually come back and buy back that same HDB, and now you fully pay that same flat. So what does this actually mean? This means that maybe you might see your old neighbours come back to the same level or the same flat that you're staying in. Why? Because they have chosen to take the step to make, after they make their most amount of money in 5 years after the MOP, they apply the new launch strategy and wait for 5 years and grow 6% per annum. And then after 5 years, right, guess what? They come back and buy back this same HDB. Is it quite interesting?
Yeah.
So it's actually a quite interesting concept and idea that a lot of them have. So this is something that a lot of people don't know. Why do they move straight away? And why upgrading is an essential part of your asset progression plan. Okay?
But I think a lot of people would want to know $1 million new launch. How many bedrooms are there?
Well, $1 million can probably, depending on different areas, different locations, they can get you up to from a 1+ study all the way up to a 2+ study even. Yep. So actually, right, say for example, if you are a young couple without kids, or probably just one very young newborn, right? Actually,
You can start off with a new launch
you can
first.
start off with a new launch
Yeah,
first.
a smaller house. Then after that, you
Then
can
you
follow
move
by
on.
buying a HDB flat, a
Yes.
5-room HDB, fully paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so important, you know. So because we all want to reduce our debt obligations, we don't want to pay for 25 years, because can you imagine if a person like me, I'm 29, next year I'm 30, if I were to purchase a HDB flat, take 25 years, by the time I reach age of 55, then I finish paying the flat. This is so long,
Yeah.
right? So that's the reason why a lot of people are actually shifting out. The moment they hit the MOP, then they invest in a private residential estate, and then probably come back by the time they retire. Maybe like 5-10 years later, they can come back and get a bigger HDB flat. And the thing is, they fully down pay. Isn't it fun? It's much more financially savvy lah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think
So are we gonna share with them like the top 2 new launches right now?
well, the top 2 new launches in my mind.
I want to say,
Yes.
Treasures.
Treasures.
At Tampines.
Treasures at Tampines. So Bibi really loves Treasures at Tampines because she can really see the potential, the efficient layout, and what else?
I just love the location.
The location,
Yeah, the layout of the
proximity
house.
of Jewel, all the things that's happening, the rejuvenation of Tampines itself, right? Makes
Yeah.
it such an attractive location,
Yep.
right? Now for myself, I really love Florence Residences because why? Florence Residence is a place where you can see actual growth in that area. Well, because we talk about the interchange effect, which I'll probably touch on sometime later, probably some of our other topics, right? And also, how often can you find a brand new launch property, right, that is lower in PSF as compared to the new launches around the area, lower in PSF, that's one. And number 2, even in quantum, a 2-bedroom as compared to 2 bedrooms around the area, the quantum is also cheaper. So the entry price is cheap, the entry PSF is cheap. to me, that's a fully investable product,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So of course there are many other products, but these are the two that are top of our minds
Yeah.
right now, right? And every quarter, right, dynamics change, prices change. So even though I'm telling you today, we are telling you today, hey look, these two properties are the top of our minds now. But one quarter later, that might change,
Yeah.
right? Because every month we keep updated with the regards of property prices, changes in the dynamics, supply and demand. We look at all these things that's happening around the market. So
So
it is
call us.
important. It's important to know exactly what you're getting into and don't use old news as good news or bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Call us.
So you can call us if you want to know more about how to actually execute this asset progression strategy. Alright? So I hope we've given you good value today.
Yes. Cheers.